When most hear the word geometry, they shudder. But when I hear it, I grin. And that's because I am well acquainted with Geometry Wars. But I wasn't always so well versed in the series. In fact, not until a certain friend of mine in my circle, Wars³, called my attention to the Wii version, Geometry Wars Galaxies, that I had any idea what it was all about. For all I knew, it could have been an edutainment title about doing math problems. But instead, it's a shooter, much in the vein of Asteroids. And needless to say, I was highly enamored by the concept. However, I never got to enjoy the Wii game to its full potential, because my Classic Controller Pro decided that it wouldn't work so well.
Go up and right. Go right. Go right. It's not right. It's not right. There you go. You're going right. No. I feel like I'm talking to a dog.
But when I heard about a physical retail release for the PlayStation 4, I knew it would make a perfect fit for what was missing in my relationship with geometry. So I'm looking at this menu here and I don't even know where to begin. It's like Christmas. It's full of surprises of all shapes and sizes. But let's just go ahead and start with Adventure Mode, because who doesn't love a good adventure? In Adventure Mode, you play through 50 levels sequentially, each level differing from the last in terms of mode and layout. So while on this first level, I might be racing against the clock in a deadline match, the very next, I might be trying to preserve my lives, although I should do that every time. Then I might be fighting a massive boss, while the next level, I might not be allowed to use my weapons at all. The sheer diversity between levels and the layout that you play them on keeps the formula fresh and exciting. And on top of that, the game sports a robust weapon upgrade system that correlates directly to your progress in the game. So every geome, or little crystal that you collect in the game, you can use to upgrade the weapons that you procure as you advance through the levels. Then, by experimenting and combining different drones and special weapons, you discover what the best setup is for each level. And in this way, Adventure Mode comes at you with all the right angles. But let's dedicate a moment toward my impressions of the game, because Geometry Wars left them in all the right quadrants. In one word, flabbergasted. The intricacy of the music left me craving my headphones. The sheer volumes of enemies hunting me down incessantly kept me on my toes. And the smooth colors and textures of the shapes and grid left my eyes watering to a point I forgot I was even playing a game. But the hardest part for me to get used to was the evolved nature of the game. Heck, it's even in the title, Geometry Wars Dimensions Evolved. To me, the defining attribute of Geometry Wars 3 is the fact that each of the levels are played on a three-dimensional grid, as opposed to in previous titles where you're playing on a flat surface. I like this because it challenges me to think in a way that I wouldn't if I were playing on a flat surface. It's more to balance at once, and combined with the fact that enemies already have unique strategic positions to swamp you, and that the online leaderboards are so competitive, there just isn't much room to cut corners, and it really keeps you on edge while you're playing. But if a robust adventure mode is just not your thing, the game also comes packed with several classic versions, such as Retro Evolved Classic. You don't get to use your drone, and you don't play on a 3-dimensional grid, but it still boasts all of the technical upgrades of the modern version and lets you square up with as many shapes as you'd like. To sum it up, Geometry Wars 3 is a diamond in the rough for the retro gaming sphere, and finds a welcome home on modern video game platforms. It can be quite difficult, especially on the later stages, but once you really start to master the game, Geometry Wars proves rewarding and exhilarating, and shapes up to be one of the best games I could have asked for this generation.
Complete.